Jihadi TV is all we've got, but as fighters from the self-declared Islamic Caliphate trundle relentlessly down Syria's desert highways, independent verification of claimed conquest isn't really necessary. The town of As-Suqna has fallen, as has the Al-Hail gas field. For days they've had Palmyra, jewel of the desert, in their sights, and now an archaeological apocalypse is imminent.
Well, I think it'd be absolutely appalling if ISIS actually enter Palmyra and if they destroy the city. It's one of the most spectacular and interesting cities in the whole of the ancient world. Perhaps the most interesting in the Middle East, at any rate. Very, very well preserved. There's an awful lot to see there, and the ruins are of enormous importance.
There's been fierce fighting on the town's outskirts, but Syrian ground forces and airstrikes from regime warplanes have proved unable to repel the militants. Already, pictures have appeared on social media purporting to show Islamic State fighters in Palmyra, also known as Tadmur, a town of 50,000 people. A treasure trove of ruins and ancient artifacts now lies unprotected in this oasis crossroads of Greek, Roman, Persian and Islamic cultures, which is mentioned in Judeo-Christian scriptures. Long ago, the people of this city prayed to a sky god known as Bel. If prayer can prevent catastrophe, archaeologists, historians across the world are tonight on their knees.
We have saved hundreds of exceptionally beautiful statues that were under fire from snipers. The statues are now safe, but the question is how to protect the beautiful cemeteries and beautiful temples and other monuments in the city.
Already, IS militants have damaged, destroyed and plundered ancient sites in territory they've seized. This is Nimrud in Iraq, willfully destroyed on the notion that pre-Islamic culture is idolatrous, haram. The Syrians have said this is an international battle for Palmyra now and appeal to the international community for help, whatever that means. 5 days after Islamic State captured Ramadi in Iraq, the capital of Anbar province, they've shown themselves militarily capable of mounting a big offensive on another front. Islamic State fighters retreating from a battle in the Kalamoon Mountains swept east from Homs. They converged with ISIS fighters moving southwest from Deir ez-Zor. The Black Flag jihadis captured the town of Al-Suqna, then an oil and gas field on the way, as well as regime missile bases and an ammunition depot in mountains just north of Palmyra. They then came round the airport, taking Palmyra's green belt to the south. As of mid-afternoon local time, the regime still controlled the archaeological site, the old city and the airport. But tonight, Islamic State forces pose a clear and present danger. Tonight in Washington, D.C., Channel 4 News asked the U.S. State Department if there really was nothing that could be done.
It seems. Is there really nothing that America can do to prevent its destruction?
This is a city that has been caught in the crossfire for some time, certainly. It's sustained damage from both the regime and opposition groups, and the destruction and looting of these sites has been sort of something we've seen in other places in Syria as well that is incredibly harmful. We've spoken up about it a number of times. So we'll keep watching here. We'll keep seeing what's happening on the ground. But this is the reason we're trying to push back ISIL out of Iraq and to try and help the Syrian opposition push back ISIL in Syria.
Ironically, even Syrian rebels had been vesting their hopes in regime forces to mount the defense of the city of Palms. But within the last few minutes, we've learned from opposition activists in Palmyra that the entire city has now fallen. The ancient tombs and colonnades and temples are now under the self-declared caliphate's control. The nihilist Year Zero jihadi militants have already promised to destroy them.